What's going on? What's happening? What it is? Welcome back to the Millennial Masterclass, episode 33, episode Scottie Pippen, episode Larry Bird. You know what I'm talking about? Episode Abdul Jabbar. All right, y'all hearing me? Three.
You.
All right.
Is that the name of a Adele album or is it 32? Damn, I should have said that last week.
We're gonna move
1 and 30.
We're gonna move on. We're just gonna move on.
Well, you get to name basketball players and shit. I want to relate.
At least the numbers I'm saying coalesce with what we're talking about. Those numbers though, you didn't say a number right one time that it just even made sense with this one right here. That was 3 weeks ago, girl. 3 weeks ago.
My bad. Went over my head.
Anyway, y'all, I'm Tristen. I'm posted up in New York, and we're gonna send it to DMV because it's popping over there. Apparently, got a fresh fade, skin popping over here, looking chocolate.
Tattoo popping on the shoulder. Come on.
Oh yeah, talk about it. All right now.
Right. Shit. The DMV been DMVing. I actually had a lit ass weekend. Like I went out to dinner on Saturday. Went to RPM, took my little shorty out to dinner.
Okay.
I was just talking about RPM. Was it dope? Is it still dope? Because I
love RPM. Okay. It's nice little vibe. The funny thing is, everybody kept asking us, "Oh, y'all celebrating something today?" Like, damn, black people just can't go somewhere nice. We just can't go out to eat. No.
Well, that's always a good question though to like make other. That's a good conversation piece. Like, that's a good question. Oh, y'all celebrate something today? And then you'd be like, nah, we just living life. We celebrating life. Oh, word? Oh, y'all don't? Okay.
I don't know. It just felt like
you said it was your birthday and see somebody treated y'all to something.
Right. Y'all why? You gonna give me a free cupcake or something? Y'all gonna come over and sing?
They might if you ask nicely. Shit.
Right.
But then I went to brunch for the first time in a while and a Darty on yesterday. Damn, yeah.
Darty fever is in the air.
It was Darty season, still is happening. I only stayed for an hour because that age hit, but it was a good ass hour. I had fun at the Darty.
Where'd you go?
Did you dance?
Yeah, I was twerking something.
Like I say, did you dance? I didn't say did you twerk. That's not the question I asked.
That's the only dance I know how to do.
All right, fair enough. All right.
Yes.
Got it. It's fine.
Wait, where'd you go, Sean? Which day?
We went to Decades in DuPont. It was like
y'all went over to Decades.
Mm-hmm.
Does it still feel like Midtown? It was Midtown
Not
before.
Sure.
That was the name of it.
Remember, that's when we had our 23rd birthday.
Exactly. I remember.
Is that what it was called?
Yes. And
I had way too much. Be the same location.
I had way too much Fireball is all I know that night.
Me too. It was that Fireball that killed me. Man.
Every time y'all say it, please stop saying that word. That shit making my body itch.
I was so sick that night.
Goodness.
I fell asleep in the car. Apparently, Ish and Kiana took me home. And apparently, I was asleep in the car for like an hour. Apparently, they went and got food and did all kind of stuff. And I was like, and I woke up and saw this shit. I was like, what the fuck you niggas were? And it was like, oh, well, you was asleep. So, we was good. I was like, oh, y'all some assholes. I don't even want
right. What the hell?
He said the car was locked. I mean, you was good. I was like, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
That's all that matters. Look, they kept you safe. Did they or did they not? And that's what friends are for.
That's debatable, but that's fine.
Somewhat safe, somewhat.
No, but my weekend was great. Leslie, how was your weekend down in Texas?
My weekend was chill. I was actually supposed to be in Houston. I was supposed to go see Tiana Taylor, but I had a rough week and my energy was off. So I just decided not to go. I ended up selling my ticket, so it didn't go to waste. And
she heard you what? What was she doing? Stretching or?
No, she's performing. She's doing her second round of her last Rose Petal tour.
That's right. She does. She makes a few songs here and there.
Yeah.
Don't do her like that. Right, don't play her like she's not great. Don't do that.
She's an awesome ass performer. Like I see.
You're the reason why she want to retire. People talking trash like that. But anyway, but
did I say anything disparaging? I didn't say anything disparaging about her.
You hinted at it. So anyway, but Tristen will be happy to hear that I did go skating on Saturday. It's been about, I feel like a month, I feel like, because I've been traveling and stuff like that. But I worked on some of my skills. I did not record yet, so don't ask me. I have not recorded yet, but I did work on, going backwards some more. I worked on spinning, basically transitioning from front to back. We worked on like squatting that way. Like,
can you go over both shoulders yet? Can you go over your left and your right shoulder to turn around?
No, not yet. I'm more comfortable with my right, so I just have to work on the left as well. But I was also working on when you're skating around the curve and you do like the crossover and make it look all cute and smooth. I was working on that and I was doing it. And then the last time I tried it, I guess my skates got kind of caught on one another. And when I tell you, like in the air and then fell like on the right side. I was like, oh my God, like I got a little boo-boo that I had to cover up.
It's clearly a little boo-boo because that's a small ass band-aid. She got you said that's a little.
I got a bruise on my right hip as well. So I
believe you. You've been in the skating trenches, girl. I see you.
I know.
Well, actually, I don't see you because I ain't seen no videos. Just gonna put that out there.
Next time. But yeah, I've been improving each and every time. So I'm proud of myself for getting back out there. The manager was like, I see you improving, girl. You're getting really good. I was like, yeah, you see me. So that was pretty much my week. And then of course I like did a little shopping, added some decor to my wall. So
okay, we see
it's about damn time. In a minute, got the wall up, got the candle up on the wall. It's looking real good.
All right, Lizzo. All right.
Okay.
I don't know all the words.
We see.
Oh man,
Tristen, what you been up to?
You know what? This weekend was a little eventful. We did a few things. We did some outdoor activities and such. Went to a couple outdoor movies. Do you know what they had outdoors playing? Like not even like 4 blocks away. Tyler Perry, Madeira's funeral. They had it outdoors, and I had never actually watched the movie. That movie was ridiculous as hell, but it was funny. It was pretty funny.
I didn't watch that either.
You don't need to, but it is funny as shit. It's funny. Yeah. It's very funny. It was wild because it was literally like, you know, like history definitely repeats itself when you don't have the information. That's literally the theme of the movie. So it was.
It had Andy in there from Sisters. She's in there, and then Rome Flynn. He's in
you know what's really funny about that movie though? Every woman in the movie, barring like the old ladies, looks the same, like same body type. Like similar hairstyles in terms of what they're doing. And I know that was by design. I get that, but like it was just wild. Like every lady looked the same. I was like, well, damn, y'all are really trying to send a message here. Okay, all right, I'm here for it. And then we went to a pool party yesterday, which was cool. Yeah, it was cool. It was out in White Plains. It was for Malay's friends, his 30th birthday. So he gathered some family and some friends together. So it was a nice little change of pace. But yeah, man, we did a little running around. But no, this weekend was mostly a chill weekend. So it was good.
Sounds good.
Yes, indeed. But if that's all the old business, it's time to get into some new business. You know, I'm talking about that new business, that street business, that business that they calling for. And there's only one person to call when you need that street business. Les, it's time for the bulletin board. Give it to him what it is.
Well, thank you for that intro. To get it started, we're going to talk about a crazy story that I read over the weekend, and I titled it The Funeral Fumble, because not only did they fumble the funeral, but they fumbled the bag. So I don't know if y'all heard about this, but a New Jersey family is suing the Central Funeral Home of New Jersey and Blackley Funeral Home and Cremation Services of Ridgefield in New Jersey for $50 million.
Damn.
The reason
you sure they got it? Are they sure they got it?
Mil.
Are they sure they got it? Good Lord.
I mean, I feel like
they liquid like that. They got that liquid. They got that liquidity like that. They're gonna own part of the company when they get done. Shit.
They're gonna be shut down for sure, but rightfully so, because this is like tragic.
Right, what happened?
So the family of the 93-year-old, forgive me if I mispronounce it, but she's a 93-year-old mother named Hwan Jong Kim. Forgive me if I mispronounced that. I did my best. They were laying her to rest when they were told that the body in the casket was not their actual mother. It was a matter of they were, taking the body down into the dirt, and they had to bring the casket back up.
Wait. How did he get that far?
Let me tell you, which is
repass. They didn't look at the thing. Like, what happened?
So that's what's crazy, because it was an open casket funeral, and they said several of the family members went to the funeral director and was like, hey, that doesn't look like our mom. Like, she looks a little off. But the director was like, it's just like, no, of course we have the right body. That's your mom. So turns out it was not. In fact, the woman in the casket was 20 years younger than their mom.
What the hell?
And she didn't look anything like her. And they also said the woman in the casket still had her teeth, because she was like, 73 versus 93. Their mom had dentures. But the kicker was they put the dentures underneath the pillow and then put the body on that same pillow, which is weird, because it's like there were so many different like mistakes and steps where they could have been like, wait, if this woman,
you wouldn't keep the
dentures. What?
Well, yeah, like if you're doing like embalming and stuff, you wouldn't keep the dentures in their mouth, so they would take them out. That makes sense, but
But
Why
the
would they put
thing
them
is, they
behind
put
the
them under
pillow?
exactly, and like the thing is, like if you're putting this behind the pillow, then putting a body in there and seeing that that body has all their teeth, doesn't something go off in your mind like, wait, let me just triple check and just make sure that we have the right person or whatnot.
You should
So
have triple checked when they told you that that's not their mama. You think they don't know who the fuck their mama is?
If that's not our,
exactly, like if you have several family members coming to you like on the side, not making a big deal about it, but like, hey,
Yeah.
I don't think that's our mom. I think y'all need to like double check it. But they're like insisting, like, no, that is. And they wait until the moment that they're lowering the casket into the ground to be like, wait a minute, we got to back it on up because that's actually not their mom. Like, that's traumatizing. You went through the whole funeral service for another
Right.
person. Like, that's crazy. So the family decided to file a lawsuit for $50 million. They said that those who work at the funeral home did not do their due diligence. They did not do what they promised to do, which is make sure that the body in the casket is in fact the correct body. And in the end, their mom was buried the next day. So again, they didn't even get to give her the proper funeral because it wasn't the right body in there during the actual funeral. And so the lawsuit claims loss of right to interment, an infliction of emotional distress, intentional infliction of emotional distress, battery, which is for mishandling the body of the deceased, and breach of contract. So,
and all that is worth $50 million. Who was their mama? Like, was she a real estate
What-
giant? And where was she? Like, what?
I think you
That's
can
the
sue
thing.
somebody for like any amount, though. That doesn't
You
mean that
can't.
you're nowhere near going to get that amount.
Yeah, that's
you know?
real. You got to go
And like
high.
their
for the
insurance
moon.
policy probably ain't even that high. Their coverage and shit, like you're not gonna get that much.
Yeah,
But
you
still.
shoot for the moon and aim amongst and land amongst the stars, right? So you like get this astronomical.
You know the stars are further
amount
away than the
that way
moon,
you
right?
get something.
That's that. I hate that phrase. My mother
But
used
you
to say
know
that
that's the saying,
that's
Tristen.
that dumb
So,
shit. Because
just go with
the
that.
fucking stars are farther away than the moon. They're further
That's
away.
besides
Mhm.
the
Okay.
point. Last
Thank
thing
you.
I will add is that the funeral home gave the family an apology and offered to refund their $9,000 check. But of course, the family was like, no, that's not good enough because we told you this wasn't her, but you didn't listen. So now they're suing.
That's wild. That's
Mm.
fucking wild.
Would y'all
I can't
sue if that
even-
happened to your family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would sue. We might have gotten into a fight that day. It might have just been a fight that day. We'd probably just get in a
would
fight
not
that
have-
day.
Yeah, absolutely. You would not have been able to convince me.
That's what I'm saying.
Not the
Yeah,
person.
exactly.
Like,
Right.
yeah,
We'd
so
have been in a
like
fight.
Tristan said, I think that shit would have just happened that day.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're
Like,
not gonna convince me.
I'm so
You'd be
ridiculous.
Like, no, don't fucking tell me that that's not my mom. That's my mama, and I fucking know my mama. She didn't get younger in death. What are you talking about?
Like, I don't give a fuck what you embalmed. She didn't get in that 20 years younger. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I probably would have thrown the body on the floor. I'd have opened the casket and just put it on the floor. I'd be like, that's not her. It ain't her.
Put somebody else relative.
So what? Cremate that shit. I don't know who they are. Cremate them. Whatever. Cremate them.
Oh my god.
Cremate them. Get this shit out of here. Bring my mama in here, because for this $9,000 that we gave you, we're gonna fight that day.
Two wrongs don't make it right.
Yeah,
That wasn't. I didn't do
far,
anything
Tristan.
wrong. All I did
Was
was
throwing someone's innocent dead person's body.
Is their family there?
Disrespecting
Clearly not.
their
Because it's our
body.
funeral.
But you're just disrespecting
But
the body of that
then
person.
their family gonna come and want to fight you for touching their relative. It's gonna be a
Okay, well, great.
Yeah,
They know
because
where
if
I
I
live.
found out
My
that you
address
threw
is
my
on
mama
file.
on the ground, I would have fucked you up.
My address is on file. You know where I'll be. Come right along.
Bet.
Come
I would
right
have to come to your
along.
house. Like you did too much. Like,
Yes,
yeah, that
I
was a
did.
mistake, but you don't throw nobody grandma on the fucking ground.
I'm gonna be real with you. Maybe I feel a little differently, but like once you die, your body, whatever. Like I'll give my body to science. I don't give a fuck. They can burn it. It's just I'm just not concerned. Just make sure that the right body is here for us to give respect to it. Otherwise, I'm fucking this place up. I'm pushing the casket over. I'm throwing some flowers. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it right. We getting it right.
Nah, I feel you. I think about it is just that, just the body. It's really the soul of the person that you are remembering all that, but still, nah.
Do y'all want to be
That's
cremated or
insane.
buried?
It depends.
Cremated.
I want to be cremated.
I want to be cremated, but only if they're gonna spread my ashes as I have laid out in my will. If they're not gonna spread my ashes, right, then no.
I want my ashes and like little like pendants, and I'm gonna give them to my nieces and nephews. And if I have kids, then I give them to them too.
Man, I'm not trying to walk around with no dead ass.
Exactly. What?
And then when you accidentally drop it, oh my god, my aunt! Like, what the fuck?
No. I just want them to spread my ashes like in three,
That's
like
weird.
in 3 parts. I want them to spread like one ash in like one part of the like world, and another part and another part. That would be dope. That would be dope.
Are these places you ever been, or you just want to in depth go somewhere you ain't never been?
I would probably pick one place I hadn't been and two places I had. That's probably how I would do it. I think so. Now that you asked me that question, yes. That's
like Southeast DC, like where you trying to be?
Nigga, what? Really? We're gonna go to Anacostia? Spread my ashes in the Anacostia, baby. Right in Anacostia. Up near Blue High School, nigga. You spread them right in no.
Shout out to Blue.
Okay.
I'm thinking, probably a country in Africa. I think so. Probably Seychelles. Then probably somewhere really cold, and then probably somewhere like really hot down there. So then we got somewhere on the equator, somewhere up, somewhere down. Yeah, if they're gonna spread my shit right, then we got it. Yeah, that's what we doing.
And I'm gonna be an organ donor. I'm gonna be cremated because I also don't want to like rats and shit eating at my casket and eating at me in the ground. And just go ahead and burn that joint up.
Would you give your body to science? Would you do that?
No.
I'm an organ donor.
Are they paying my family?
Right.
I mean, there may be some small amount they pay them, but I mean, maybe they cover the cost of the funeral, whatever.
They still ain't paying for Henrietta Lacks. They ain't paying for. I've donated my organs, but I don't need to be.
But okay, you know what like George Carlin said years ago? It's like, are you ever a little worried that like, you know, you get into an accident and like you're on the brink, and then they're like, oh, she's an organ donor. Well, we should call this one.
They do that.
We should call this
They
one.
do that.
So you think that in the midst of them trying to save your life, they look at your ID?
Oh, for sure.
I think my ID might even be there. What if my ID not even there? They don't even know.
Oh, their ID's not there. Well, that's another conversation entirely. Yeah. But I'm just saying that if your ID is present,
shit, we need them organs.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, she AB negative.
I don't even know how much my organs got fucked up anyway. I don't know why you rushing.
Because you only just shout your blood type out on the air. But what I'm saying is like the most rare blood type is AB negative. Only like 6% of the world have that. So if you're AB negative, your organs are valuable. They're coming for you.
There was some black girl on TikTok talking about that, how like she went to the doctor for some normal procedure and she ended up staying there like weeks on weeks, and no one can tell her like why she was still there. They would come in every day, take her blood. They weren't telling her why they were taking her blood and stuff like that. And one day she just refused to give blood because she's like, no one's telling me what this is for. And so like all these other people in the comments were like, oh, I know someone that happened to is because your blood type is this, because she said what her blood type was, what it says because it's this and it's so rare and I'm just like, what? This is insane, but not unbelievable. So yeah, exactly. You learn everything on TikTok.
What else do we have on the docket, man? What else is on there?
So, and he's just here so he won't get fined news. Did y'all hear about Marshawn Lynch getting arrested?
Oh, Lord, what they arrest Marshawn for?
So, former Seahawks running back Marshawn Lynch is facing a total of 4 charges, including DUI, driving an unregistered vehicle, failure to stay in his lane, and failure to surrender after being arrested last Tuesday in Las Vegas around 7:30 a.m. According to the arrest report, the 36-year-old was taken into custody after police found him asleep behind the wheel of a Shelby GT500. During the arrest, officers noted that Lynch's car was in an undrivable condition. Not only was it missing the front wheel and rim on the driver's side of the car, but the front tire on the passenger side had almost fallen off. So, and he was like laid back sleep in the car with the door open.
But he hadn't hurt anybody. He was off to the side of the road, right?
But they think he got into an accident and then fell asleep. Is that why the car was fucked up?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They didn't like draw the conclusion. All they said was that according to
you can't sleep in a car.
No, you can't actually. You cannot sleep behind the wheel. You have to sleep in the passenger seat. They can actually still write you the ticket. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
In most states, I don't know if it's every state, but in the states I have lived in, yeah, if you're in behind the wheel, if you get in the passenger seat, you're actually good, but you just cannot be behind the wheel.
Yeah, even when it parked. So according to the police report, they said when the officers found Lynch, he observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emitted from the vehicle, and along with his breath had alcohol on it, and his eyes were like bloodshot red and watery as well. So despite those observations, though, Lynch said that he was not drinking. He said he does not do drugs, but he's adamant that he was not drunk. His bail, which is set super low though, it was set at only $3,381.
He didn't do anything for real. That's that crazy,
right? Right.
Yeah.
That's such an exact number though, 3,381. Anyway, and his court date is scheduled for December.
That sounds like what do you have in your pocket, sir? That's what your bail is. That's what your bail is. What do you have in your wallet?
Exactly. Yeah, like
All right,
what's in
y'all.
your glove
We'll take
compartment?
that.
All right, that's
take
bail.
that.
That's it. That's it right there.
It's so exact. But his attorney said that he was not pulled over for DUI. And apparently since the vehicle was safely parked and was not in drive or anything like that. And so I guess we just have to wait to see if anything comes of this. His attorneys were pretty adamant that he won't be charged for DUI. Nothing will come of this. It was just misunderstanding. So I'll report back once we hear more about this. But nobody was hurt, which is good. That's what we care about most. Nobody was hurt.
It sounds like he was hurt.
I didn't know that you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you couldn't sleep behind the wheel.
No. Well, no. You can fall asleep behind the wheel.
So that's what he was really arrested for.
No. You can fall asleep behind the wheel. You can be asleep on the wheel of a car. It's just that if they determine you are inebriated behind the wheel of a car, they can still charge you for a DUI even if the car is parked. You can sleep in the driver's seat, yeah. But if they determine that you are somewhat inebriated, they can still write you that ticket.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I was just sitting here. I didn't even drive. Whole time somebody else drove, and when they left, I had sat in the driver's seat. And I just went to sleep.
I would say just rule of thumb, if you do ever find yourself needing to go to sleep, pull over and go to sleep, just get in the passenger seat just to avoid any
Lock
type
the
of
doors, get in the passenger seat. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
And be done with it.
Yeah.
What else we got on the docket, man? What else is popping on there?
So I call this a story Cry Me a River, and y'all tell me what y'all think about this. So this made news last week. Brandon Walicki, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, is the CEO of Ohio-based B2B marketing company called Hypersocial.
You said business to business? Yes, B2B. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And he actually posted a selfie on LinkedIn last Wednesday of him crying. He had visible tears coming out.
Like Tyrese tears?
Yeah, what more do you want from me? Tears. Yeah.
Okay, word. Yeah. All right.
So in his caption of the post, he said, "This will be the most vulnerable thing I'll ever share. I've gone back and forth on whether to post this or not. We just had to lay off a few of our employees. I've seen a lot of layoffs over the last few weeks on LinkedIn. Most of those are due to the economy or for whatever reason. Ours was my fault." So Walicki said that he made a decision in February that basically led to these layoffs. He basically made the wrong decision for his company. But he hasn't gone into detail yet, even though he said in the future he plans to. But what got people talking was a lot of people felt like, dude, you're crying as a CEO. You still own a company. You still have a job, versus the people that you're laying off. They felt like it was kind of narcissistic of him to post a picture of himself crying as if he feels so bad for these people that he just laid off. So it was kind of I won't say split, but there was a lot of opposing views. Some people said that what he did was cringeworthy, and suggested that he should focus on helping his former employees rather than posting all this online. While other people, including one of his former employees, actually said that he defended him and said he would only want to work for managers like Walicki in the future. So once he saw all this backlash going back and forth and saw that his post went viral, Walicki actually said, "No, my intent was not to make it about me or victimize myself. I'm sorry it came across that way. It was not my place to out the employees' names publicly. What I want to do now is just try to make better of the situation and start a thread for people looking for work." But how do y'all feel? Do you feel like he was kind of making it about himself when he posted that picture? Do you feel like he was really just kind of humanized himself in the situation and kind of?
I'm gonna go with the latter, because I've kind of seen both sides of this, where I have personally know people that had to fire folks, and quite a few of them, and then on the other side where you've been let down because they didn't have the money to pay folks anymore. And I feel like at the end of the day, if you put yourself in that employer's position, they don't want to have to let folks go, because that's kind of embarrassing to them in the first thing, because that just means that man, I made the wrong decision. Now my profit and loss is way fucked up, and now I gotta let go half my staff, because nobody really wants to have to do that, because you didn't spend all that time trying to hire them to then let them all go. You know what I mean? So I would like to say that it was humanistic of him, but there's always something else at play. You follow the money, you find enough nonsense. So I'm a hope it was.
I'm looking at Sean's face.
I'm a hope.
Posting a picture of you crying is
yeah, why?
That is the weirdest shit in the world. Like, then what if you ain't got that when your crying face too ugly? Are you retaking it? Hold on, not sad enough.
Wait, the tear didn't fall right. Let me try it again.
Why won't you let this man cry? If you want to cry in
my
picture,
inner Taraji. No,
picture,
it's okay
bro.
to cry. It's totally okay. It's weird to take a selfie of yourself crying. That's weird as fuck. That's very attention seeking and woe is me. So no matter if he's telling the truth or not, I mean, that's very, you made it about you.
I agree.
But it sounds like a white person.
Sounds about white. People did a deep dive and they were like all in his business, and they found out that like a few months prior to this, he adopted a sea lion. So they were like, if you have money to donate to adopt a sea lion, then you should have like better manage your company's funds and all this stuff. You know, people of course are gonna
people
find
going deep dive.
Man, like how much did it cost to manage that sea lion? Maybe it wasn't that much.
I don't know. But I mean, of course, it was probably his personal funds, not the company's.
Right,
but,
right.
You know, of course, they're just attacking him, finding anything to be like, oh, but you should have done this or whatever. But I agree with Sean. Like you said, he could very well, you know, have the best intentions and all this stuff. But like posting crying pictures or like crying videos has always been kind of weird to me. Maybe just because I'm like a personal person, like when I'm like upset or struggling, like I keep it to myself. I'll talk about it after the fact, and that's just me personally. But I think it's just like it is kind of attention seeking. It's like you're looking for the sympathy, you're looking for the reactions to like be on your side or feel sorry for you. And it's just, I don't know, it's a little cringy, a little weird to me.
I guess like my crying is never really my first instinct. Like I feel like as a child, I cried, you know, a bunch because you cry all the time. You know, you fall, you skin your knee, you cry. You didn't make some team, you cried, whatever it was. Right. I just feel like as you get older, you just don't do it as much. So for me, like if I see somebody crying, I feel like I can't even judge you properly because that just wouldn't even be my first mindset. I wouldn't even think to do it because if I'm just thinking straight up, I'd be like, that's some bitch shit. But I'm not going to do that because I've grown as a person, and I'm not gonna say that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm going to hope that his intentions are right. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. Yes.
I'm okay with crying. I cry all the fucking time, and I'm okay with people showing their emotions through crying. But that is attention seeking as fuck for you to take a picture of yourself crying and then so sad. I gotta fire people, motherfucker. What? How the fuck you think them people feel? Right. Like what? So now you're the victim. Right. You still got the most motherfucking money. Like exactly. Okay. Yes, you want us to feel so bad for you, but
a loss is a loss, man. Any loss, a loss is a loss. One wants to take a loss.
Some losses are greater than others, so the employee's loss is definitely greater than his.
Yeah. I'm sure those people are having a harder time feeding their fucking family.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, you don't know what deals he has in place. You don't know. His mortgage may be 10 times theirs, which is probably.
He probably got multiple properties. He probably has multiple properties while they still are trying to pay.
I don't know this man's business. I don't know. We may have to do a deep dive into him ourselves and really find out.
Well, if so, then if he ain't even got nowhere to live and he the goddamn CEO, then he done fucked up himself. And now I definitely don't feel bad for you.
Yeah, that's real.
Because now you about to be homeless. I still don't feel bad for you. Like what?
You did not do business right, sir.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all. So y'all know I'm gonna keep my ears to the street and report back next week.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're here with the meat and potatoes of the show. So has anybody ever been flown out before? That's the question that is on the minds of many out here. And you know, it was really crazy. So we were having this conversation last week talking about getting flown out. You know, we were out here hunting down stories and talking. Getting flued out. Right. I'm sorry, you're right. You're right. I mispronounced it. That was me.
That's okay.
Shout out to Young Miami, Carisha flued out.
Yes, absolutely. You got to say
Carisha, please.
You have to, Lord. You have to enunciate. Flued out. Yes.
Flued.
Yes, either way, but when you get flued out, what happens with that? You know, because we have so many horror stories about it. You know, like I got flued out to Japan and the nigga left me in Japan and I had to learn how to speak Japanese and I was there for 3 years and then I became a samurai and then came back. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of stories about getting flued out have gone wrong, but today we're going to give you the how-to guide on how to get flued out properly, and we're going to share a couple stories with you, and we're just going to go right through it. So the first thing, let's define what getting flued out is. Getting flown out is you live one place, right? You talking to somebody else. They could live locally with you, but while they are abroad, they like, hey, I want you to bring that ass over here, girl. And then they fly you out to there. See, they fly you out. That's what they got to say. Bring that ass here, girl. And then they fly you out and they get your ticket and they cover the board. If they didn't do either of those things, you did not get flown out. That's the first thing.
Very good distinction.
Y'all met up. Y'all met up. You do not get those first things. That's the very first thing. So that has to happen. And then after you get flown out, it has to be to a city. It doesn't necessarily need to be somewhere you haven't been, because you could get flew out to Atlanta right now. You know, I'm sure we all been to Atlanta a couple times, but
just there.
Right. But if somebody's saying, I got a room and a flight for you, is you going? Yes, you.
I mean,
you going?
Now I can't, but sure.
Yeah, but but that's the other thing. You cannot be dating this person. That's not getting flown out. That's not getting flown out. They cannot be your significant other. That is not
significant other.
No, you can be dating them, but they cannot be your significant other.
Okay, all right. That's a good distinction. That is a good distinction, because in one of the stories I have, they were, yes, you're correct.
Oh, I can't wait to hear these stories.
But yes, but no, you cannot. But those are the important.
Can't be in a relationship.
Exactly. And they cannot be flying you out to somewhere where you how do I want to put this? Like there needs to be a duration in time. It's like a little mini vacation. It can't be somewhere like you're moving to. You can't be like, oh, I'm moving there for work in a month. Why don't you just fly me out to Dallas? No, that doesn't count either. I don't count that either. It needs to be like a little mini vacation.
Like you're going for the sole purpose of hanging with that person.
Exactly.
Spending time with that person in some capacity.
Yeah, and it's not flued out. Even if they pay for your ticket, and even if it was a work trip and you were flying coach and they upgraded your shit to first class, it don't count either. Like that was a work trip that was in tandem. No, nigga, it needs to be this. It was a specific purpose for you to hang out with them. That is getting flued out to a location with somebody that is not your significant other. That is our working definition. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a minimum number of days?
No, absolutely not. No, you can float out for one. I would hope it'd be 2 or 3 days, but it could be just one day.
Somebody was like, "Yeah, I want you to come to this concert with me," and they just flew you out for that concert.
Absolutely,
that's home in the morning.
That's a dream situation, because I get back to work. That's awesome. That's a dream situation.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Exactly. So we are today going to start with a couple stories. I you know what's crazy? If you look on the internet for getting flued out stories, there aren't that many. There really aren't. Like people talk about them all the time.
Yeah.
Yet there really aren't. All the stories that I've gotten, I had to call my friends who have, either know someone or have personally been flued out. And so they were gracious enough to share with me, and I'm going to share with you guys today.
All right.
So for our first story, her name is Veronica. Now, this is probably, actually, no, we're not going to start with Veronica. We're going to start with Davila. All right. Now, Davila's story, I've changed the names to protect the innocent.
Oh.
Now, so
I assume like that much.
So Davila, we're going to start with hers. Now, hers is what you call an ongoing fly out situation. So now Davila met this young man in undergrad, right? Now, because you don't always have to meet them wherever, right? So they met when they were in undergrad in school, right? They both went on to do other things. She went on to med school. He went on to play professional sports. And so from time to time, when she's unattached, while she was in school, he would call her and be like, "Hey girl, what's up? You free right now?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm free." And then he would fly her out to Florida, and they would do their thing, and he would do it, in the middle of off season. Like once he got to because I think he's a baseball player. I feel like I'm snitching too much now.
I feel like their off season is so short because they've been playing like year round.
Right, but again, I think he has a little more levity in that category. But yeah, that's an ongoing situation where anytime she's single, he'll fly her out. They trade schedules, and then they'll do their thing. And that's
like an ideal situation because you already know this person, you feel comfortable with this person, and y'all can just have fun. It is what it is. No like extra expectations. Like that's the ideal flued out situation.
And that's why we started with it, because you have all the proper things there. They know each other. They're comfortable already. It's not hard to figure out your schedules because you already know the deal. And it's nothing more than what it is. Nothing more than what it is.
I like that for her.
Exactly. And this situation, I believe, is still ongoing to this day. So shout out to Davila.
Okay, shout out to her.
Sure.
Okay.
Just food out, sis.
Continue.
Exactly. So now the next flute out story is from a young lady named Veronica.
Okay.
Yes, like Mars. Yes, she's not white
I
though.
was just thinking Mars in my head.
Y'all are so lame. Oh
I
my
ain't saying
gosh.
You ain't fuck with. So you what's a Kristen Bell? You don't fuck with Kristen Bell?
I actually never watched the show, but I
I
didn't
never
know
watched it.
The show wasn't all that great, but that's not the point. I still fuck with Kristen Bell. Okay, she dope. Shout out to Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. We love them. Anyway,
She ain't never missing a check. That girl.
not at all. Not at all. Cause she
girl
was
got
in the one show with the haunted house on the down the lane with the long ass title, you know, one on Netflix.
Oh my God. The house at the end of the
Yeah.
street,
The
across
way
from
that
the
ended
river,
with
at
the
the
little
front
girl,
door.
Right,
that
right.
was messing her up.
In the crypt,
She was
exactly.
getting fucked up by an
That
8-year
little
old.
girl was fighting her like crazy.
Yeah.
So could be starred on that show.
Also, so with Veronica, now with this story, they ultimately met on Tinder, right? And so they
Okay.
had been exchanging some things. So they actually did meet in her home city of San Francisco. That's where she lives. And so
Okay.
they met in her home city of San Francisco. And so they'd hung out a little bit, but he travels for work. And so he was in I want to say I should have gotten that part of the story. I wasn't listening when she was talking. I was listening for the meat of the story for later. But I know where they went. I know where they went. I just don't know where he was. But he was somewhere in the South or whatever. But whatever it was hurricane season. So he didn't feel good about bringing her there. So he was like, just pick a place you haven't been. They named a couple cities and they ended up going to Salt Lake City. And that was where they ended up going. And she said it was a wonderful time. She said it was a little bit of a hassle with getting the ticket, but then once they got there, you know, they had many of intimate encounters, and they went out to the salt flats. They just had a wonderful time out in Salt Lake City. So, and now, but the issue with this one was he was giving more boyfriend energy. And she was receiving that energy, but then of course he took that energy away after that flued out situation.
Oh.
Right. So this one was one of those plus minus situations. Like you had all this great stuff, but then it got real minus later. And then it was always like, can you do stuff on my time? And that kind of deteriorated their situation. So this is what we would call a mid-grade fly out situation. Exactly.
This is why you got to go off what people tell you and not just their actions as well, because just because I'm treating you nice and taking you places and whatever doesn't mean I'm trying to be in a relationship.
No, but see, that's the energy he was giving. That's the energy he was giving. He was giving relationship energy. He was like, oh, who you seeing? Oh, you don't see nobody else. Like he was giving all of that. Right.
But did he say we are together officially, or he just said don't see nobody else? Because then that nigga just trying to control you.
Right, which is ultimately what was going on, and that's why they ended up severing that relationship. But I think they do still talk like loosely, because when I was asking her about it, she was like, well, I'm like, do you still talk to him? She was like, we talk every now and again, and you know, when he comes into town, maybe we'll get dinner, but it's on my time and when I have it, because that's just how she has to do it now. You know, you got to protect your peace, girl. You know, I see you, sis.
There you go. I get why you say that's a mid-grade situation, because like they met before him and then they started to flute out situation.
Correct.
Which is also good. I think the thing that we're getting at here is like safety first, ladies. So the ideal situation is that you really like know this guy and, you know, trust him to a certain degree to where you're not just flying out to God knows where, to where you could be kidnapped or hurt. So yeah, right. I agree. Mid-grade situation.
Right, exactly. So that's and plus also with this situation, pretty much everybody got what they wanted in the situation. It's just that once the bubble burst, that's when you had your issues. So while they were still in the bubble, everything was good, but then once the bubble burst, that's when you had your drama. So, but again, they still talk to this day, so I'm sure that there will be other flat out situations. Maybe we'll get part 2 of that later on. Now, the last story. This is the fuckery. This is
where
the
fuckery.
This story, I made sure I got in complete
popcorn.
Right, you may want to get it. So this is young Jessica. So now at the time, Jessica was living in, let me get this right. She was living in New Orleans, and she was in school at the time. She was in graduate school, and she was just, you know, it was baby. Yeah, baby. And so, you know, it was a broke time for her because, you know, she couldn't really do a lot of working while she was in graduate school. It's very intensive. And I'm not quite sure what she went to school for. That wasn't important to the story. I'm sorry, y'all. Maybe I'll find out later.
It's fine.
But either way, she was there. So, and she met this guy on the gram. That's your first fucking mistake. She met this nigga on the gram. And so now this is all superficial, what y'all are seeing. You know, she liked him. She had the tats. He had the body. Stuff was doing what she was liking. She was like, okay. And he was like, girl, let me fly you out to the Bahamas. Right. So eventually.
And he Caribbean?
Well, no, he's not. He's not Caribbean. He's not Caribbean. He was a financial advisor, and he was originally going to fly her out for like a work situation, but it was just too busy. So he was like, let's just do something on our own. So this is over like a week and a half, 2-week period of them trying to talk and kind of get this together. So like,
was he from New Orleans as well? Was he from a different state?
No. I think he was just passing through when they met on Tinder. Like, I think he was there for work at the time.
Okay.
That was the indication I got from this story.
I was like, the Louisiana men,
you know what's crazy? Louisiana men and women are both crazy. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah.
They're both crazy.
Crazy, baby.
Crazy, baby. Woody. That's a word you don't hear anymore. Woody. I used to love that shit.
Sean know the last one I talked to, he turned out to be super crazy. That was the one from earlier this year with all the drama.
Have you changed all your numbers and your identity?
I just blocked him on everything. He can't get to me.
That's real. Yeah. That's what you got to do sometimes. Well, I'm sure she did after this story too.
I know he was from the.
So
yeah, girl. Yeah. Says a lot.
It says he was originally from Houston. That's what it says in the story here. He was originally from.
I can't really trust them Houston niggas either.
Okay, I didn't have my shit. Anyway, moving on.
So either way, so then they finally agreed on the place and they ended up going to the Bahamas, right? So he flew her out to the Bahamas, right? Now, before she went, she had a conversation with another friend of mine who was kind of giving me a little more lowdown on the story. And she was like, so girl, what y'all gonna fuck or whatever? She's like, I'm undecided. Now that's another mistake. You cannot be undecided on that before you go. Because generally when you get flued out, right, you need to put those boundaries in first. Like you need to let them know that, because now if they're going with the expectation that there are cheeks to be recovered, you know, if they can't recover the cheeks, they're going to be upset.
Yeah.
So
it definitely has to be that, like, set that intention first, like, yes, it's gonna happen, or no, it's not gonna happen.
That
definitely
you agree.
But okay.
No, it has to. But apparently they didn't really discuss it enough. I think what they were talking about, they were talking hot and heavy, but nothing was confirmed. And yes, bless you. Blessed.
Thank you.
And so and so they were talking about it. So then now they finally get out there. You go out there. I think he flies around, nice flight, whatever. They go there in the Bahamas or whatever. And now he's trying to hit. As soon as he gets there, as soon as she like hits the door, he's like, you know, trying to put it on her or whatever. Which I get it. You know, he didn't seen her. You know, I didn't see it on the gram trying to see that shit in 3D, mommy. I get it. I understand. I'm here for it. So,
that 3D mommy.
But she wasn't about it. She wasn't about it. So she was just like, yo, I'm not trying to do all of that. And she was like, okay. So but again, he was respectful. He let it go. Right. So then it got to the point where he was keep trying. She's like, I need my own room. She apparently talked him into getting him a room. Like, I was like, so did you pay for it? Because now she's texting homegirl through this whole time. She's like, did you pay for the room? She's like, no, I talked him into getting me a room. Talk about some financial domination. She needed to become a femdom or something, because that was impressive. I don't know how she did it. But so she did this right. But then again, he's still trying to, you know, do his thing. He's trying to be like, hey girl, come on, let me get the cheeks, girl. And then she just put the kibosh on. She said, I'm not about it. So then he was like, well, I get that. And I appreciate you telling me that. But since we are friends, I'm going to take my card off the room and I'm going to cancel your flight back because I don't pay for my friends. So we're friends now. And so then she was like, well, girl, can you afford to get back? And she couldn't. So she had to end up working something out with her brother and to get her home. And then she had to like settle with the hotel. But yeah, it wasn't like a horror story. But the thing is that they were about 16, 24 hours. She didn't really know how she was going to get out of the Bahamas. You know?
Wow.
Because like she wasn't about it.
A lot of rules broken there.
Yeah,
exactly. A lot of rules broken.
Exactly.
We're gonna have to dissect that because I got so many thoughts on that one.
Exactly.
You can't ever go nowhere and not have no money back to get back.
Yeah. Well, now might be the perfect time to discuss like what the rules and regulations are to get in flued out.
And that's
like
exactly it.
Many
Well,
So
first
let me
off,
get
into
well,
it.
first off, let's get through each story. So now with the first story with Veronica, what do we think about that? Is that our, well, that's not our, no, sorry, the first story was Davila. Is that our ideal getting flown out situation? Do we like that? Like you have your ongoing, like your tenuous fuck buddy? Are we here for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're not looking for anything serious at the moment and you're just here to have a good time, not here for a long time, then yeah, because y'all had this previous relationship, y'all know each other. Like I said, you trust each other to a certain extent. So you're not going to be scared that something bad's going to happen to you or that, you know, he's going to do something bad to you. So yeah.
Like I said, they
go
got
have your
history. They knew each
fun.
other 4 years before this
Exactly.
arrangement ever started. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go have your fun when he, you know, is in the off season. It can fly you out. Y'all go have a good time, and then you go back to your world. He goes back to his world, and it is what it is while it is. And then when either one of y'all get in a relationship,
I love what you just said. It is what it is while it is. That's a t-shirt phrase. It is what it is while it is.
Hey, let me write that down.
That's a t-shirt phrase. Oh man.
It is while it is.
Okay.
Sean, did you have anything to add, or should we move on to Veronica? Okay, well, with Veronica,
I think that Leslie done hit that good.
Okay. Well, so what about Veronica? Now I know that one was, you know, the bubble was good, and once the bubble popped, it was an issue. But do we like that situation as well? Because again, she got to pick a place she hadn't been. You know, they both got to go there. They got to do a few lavish things, and they had quite a few remarkable, intimate encounters.
It really just depends on what you're looking for. Like, I think Leslie definitely hit the nail on the head, or whatever that thing is. But I mean, if that's just what you're looking for, if you're just looking for a good time, then that sounds ideal too. Like,
I think maybe he
wouldn't
want to
go to Salt Lake City, but I mean, that sounds.
I think it could have been more upfront to begin with. That way, she wouldn't have kind of like built up this boyfriend in her head type of situation. So maybe he was like, "Hey, I want to fly you out here. I think we'll have a great time, but just letting you know, like, I just want to get it and have a good time, but I'm really not looking to make you my girl or be in a relationship. If you're cool with that, then we can go have a good time and just enjoy it as it is. But I just don't want you to have these unmet expectations."
I'm about to throw a monkey wrench in the plan on that one.
No, because does he have to say that? Because if we just doing things that you consider boyfriend or partner stuff, does that I don't feel like you have to make that announcement unless the conversation is had. Like, you can't just say, oh, this person is treating me like this, so they want to be with me. You're making that up.
Well, see,
they didn't say it.
Well, no, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad that you brought that up. So now in this particular situation, I have just a little more information on that side. Okay. When they were talking in San Francisco, they had been out a few times. So it wasn't like they had never been out before. So they had even talked about just that, but you know, maybe they said it wasn't the right time and all of this and all of that. So it wasn't like it was that option wasn't on the table. It was just that the follow through game was kind of weak. That was kind of the vibe I was getting from when she was playing that team.
And again, to Sean's point, you may or may not have to say that depending on the person. You know, some women are just more, you know, like, it is what it is. I ain't trying to do nothing more, whatever. And then some women, like you said, kind of like conjure up this fairy tale in their head, thinking like, oh, he's about to.
Men are men. Could be either one.
Yeah. But in this case, we're talking about a woman, so that's why I just said woman. But yes, it could go either way, both sides. So I think it just depends on the person that you're dealing with, because ultimately, like, you could make it more of a headache for yourself if you're not upfront and honest with the person who may build up a fairy tale in their head beforehand. So that's all I'm saying with that. But he doesn't necessarily have to. I just think, depending on the person, you might want to just save yourself a headache in the end. But you know,
because I would straight up be like, oh, where are you getting this relationship talk from? I never said I wanted to be in a relationship. Oh, when you flew me out and you. Well, honestly, I fly out a lot of bitches. I got a lot of money. Like, I can fly out a lot of bitches, and
that is what
I can have a good time. But if I never told you that, you made that up. So I feel like you can't just go off of, oh, this person is treating me like this, because of that's what your past and your history and stuff. You don't know how that person treats everybody. That could just be what the hell they do, you know?
That's fair.
Correct.
That's
correct.
Fair.
So let me ask this question then. So have y'all been flown out? Has that happened for y'all?
No,
I ain't never been flew out.
I never flew out. Have you been propositioned with it though?
Yes.
Now, but why wasn't the proposition? Why didn't you take them up on the offer?
Schedules
didn't work out, or you didn't fuck with them, or what happened?
No, I just didn't know him like that. Like
That's real.
it was this guy I met. We went on one date. It was really good. But then he already lived out of town. He was here visiting, whatever the situation was. I don't give too many details. But when he went back to where when he went back to where he lived, he like, oh, I'm about to, get you a flight. I want you to come visit me. And I'm
He
like,
wanted to fly you out to
like,
his home. See, you got to play an away game. We got to go. So we got to go on neutral turf. We got to go on neutral turf.
Like
that's the rule. That's one of the rules.
That's one
it
of the
just
rules.
felt like I'm okay on that. I don't really know you like that, and I was younger at the time too, so I just felt like it was. I don't know. I probably didn't even have no money to get back home, so that's probably another reason why I was like, you know what?
That's probably not.
I ain't got no real money yet.
Yeah,
this ain't gonna be no good idea because I'm not getting stuck anywhere.
Yeah,
I've been propositioned.
I've never had.
I've been propositioned, but
it was an old head.
Wait, I was about to say, was she older?
No, it wasn't actually. It wasn't. They were a little older than me, but no, not that much. No, but like I think if I remember correctly, it was like we had been talking, and then I think I finally saw a full body picture, and I was like, I'm good. No, stop talking to you. That was. I feel like that was what it was.
Not you only seen the neck up, the shoulders up.
Because we have been having good conversations. I think I had to be like 24 or something because I was real young, and this was
that checks it. Yeah,
I was definitely
about that age. I was young.
I know this, and I remember now because I remember where I was living at the time.
You were 24.
No.
Damn, police, Leslie. No. Anybody asked for Inspector Gadget?
No, not at that time.
Either way, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
But that's not the point. It didn't nothing care because we were just talking. Everything was cool. Like they knew all the right references. Right, she really is. And like we knew all the right and things were good. Things were flowing, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be in Florida. You should come on." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I was thinking, "Damn, how am I gonna take off work?" I was thinking about all those things, and then I saw that full body picture, and I was like, "No, I'm good." I just
what did it? Oh no, we don't even need to get into it. Never mind.
It wasn't right. It wasn't the right shape. Like I was looking for a parallelogram. It was a rhombus. It wasn't it. It wasn't it.
I quit this podcast and I'm never coming back.
Oh shit! Forgive us.
You got problems, bro. The fact that hit me, I was like, I just saw the shit. I saw shit.
What you do? What I did?
I went to third grade when we learned our shapes, and I was
literally the shape went right in my head, and I said, "Oh shit!"
It was,
and then I saw the body.
Yeah, it wasn't it for me. That wasn't what I was looking for. But yeah, I think I'm better for it. I didn't go. I think I'm better for it.
Lord.
And Leslie, what you was about to say?
Oh man,
have you ever done propositions to get flued out?
Yeah, but not like seriously. You know how like guys should be talking, but you know that they're not like really about their life. So I didn't.
They wasn't about to pull out the card and get the plane.
No, they just talking just to say that they got it like that. I'm like, boy, but whatever. So
no, that's real. That's real. But now we got to talk about Jessica's story. We got to talk about the finer points of this fuckery. So let's just start off with this one. What she fucked up, right? This is a fail. This is definitely a fail.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even want to tell nobody I got flued out. That was
like we know they were both wrong. We know this.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, girl, what was you doing?
First number one, did they have the conversation about expectations?
Because no, they didn't. And that's the first problem.
They were not on the same page.
No, they were not at all.
Because if he thought that flying somebody out meant the pussy was mandatory, he should have said that. Because I don't believe that that's true. I would think that most people would assume they're going to have sex, so I probably wouldn't want to do it unless, but it's not mandatory. You're not changing sex for flights.
It's never mandatory. Right. It's never mandatory because, if it's mandatory, that's low-key theft. And if it's physical theft, that's a whole other conversation. We would have to ask an expert like Mystical about something like that. We just would. Either way. But
Tristen, what the fuck? You are getting out of hand now. You're out of hand.
Yes, I am. You
should have said danger.
We need that little gavel that Kai be using out of order.
Bang the gavel. No.
But I am a firm believer though that if if that's what's going on and you can sense that type of energy, you need to be prepared for that. Like you really do. Because the thing is that you are never forced into doing anything you don't want to do. I definitely believe in that. But like, if that's what you've been steering toward and you've been talking all this shit, and now we get here and you're like, no, I'm celibate right now. Bitch, why didn't you tell me that 3 weeks ago? You can tell me you were celibate 3 weeks ago.
But then she tried to like tell her friend, I finessed him into getting me a room.
Another room, right?
Like, yeah, I'm getting my own room. Girl, you should have made sure that room was already paid for in your name.
And you should have put that code on that flight we just learned about.
Yes, you could have put the code on that flight. Or, you get the room and get him the cash app you the money. So that shit is still in your name and he cannot cancel it. You don't. Well, you get the cash app before you buy the room, but yeah.
Absolutely.
And that was another thing. She went on the trip without having her own emergency funds just in case.
Always have to have I just don't think she did enough background into this man, because from the timeline I got in the story, and I don't have it exactly, this all happened over about a 3-week period. From fast. You know what I'm saying? From when you talk, because she was just itching to get out of her home, out of New Orleans, just because she was just looking to get away.
Girl, drive to Houston. It's only 6 hours. I can be itching that bad to get out. I feel like that's another indicator. Like a lot of people move way too fast. Like less than a month of knowing this person or talking to this person. Like, maybe give it a little more time to see like if.
But that's the fantasy, though. That's the fantasy of getting flown out. Like you met them, they brought you out, they gave you lavish lounges and all kind of stuff, and that's all it is. It's a
fantasy. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, thank you to those ladies for sharing their truths and those stories. We really appreciate you, Miss Davila, Veronica, and Jessica. I protected those names as I said I would. Shout out to you again. Thank you for that information. We appreciate it. So now we have a few questions though, when we have some would you rathers. So I've crafted these. Some of these are a little fun. Some of these I'm gonna make you think a little bit, but we're gonna see what it is. So here's the first would you rather. Would you rather fly out to Florida with modest money and great D, or fly out to Abu Dhabi with a man who has BO and way below average D, and sex is expected? Sex is expected in both scenarios.
The first one, modest money and great D over. What's his body odor?
He has BO. He got BO.
Like you meant regular BO? Like
yeah.
He got like clinically prescribed deodorant BO.
No.
So his armpit thinking y'all gonna go somewhere hot as shit?
Well, I don't know if he lives there, but the point is that he's flying you to Abu Dhabi. He's flying you to Abu Dhabi. He said, we're going to take you in the dunes. And it's real. I need to go
somewhere cold if this nigga going to sweat the state.
And it's real. He's going to take you there. He's real life, and it's legit. But can you deal with that breath? And, him on top of you talking about, yeah, girl. The breath just coming at you.
No, moving on, Florida.
Going with Florida.
Y'all don't want to see Abu Dhabi? You don't get another stamp on your passport?
No, I'm good. I'll take myself.
Bad sex in Abu Dhabi or good sex in Florida, and sex is.
And he ain't taking you nothing but Destin to Clearwater. Ain't nothing but Destin to Clearwater.
That's fine. You can make your own fun. Bump that.
I don't know. Is the person in Abu Dhabi? Is the sex gonna be quick?
Well, he's a decent looking person. He just got BO and is below average.
Don't say just got. That's a big red flag. Like, I can't do it if you stink. If any part of you stinks, I can't do it.
Okay. All right.
Underbit, crotch.
Feet, whatever.
That's your elbow stank. Can't do it. Elbow stank.
I ain't never heard nobody. He said, girl, he got stinky elbows. You heard about that shit, girl? Yeah.
His earlobes funky. Can't do it.
Let's move on. Would you rather... Okay, would you rather fly out to a nice hotel, and I've been a very nice hotel, 4 or 5 star in Salt Lake City, and during the colder months, or would you rather fly out to a shitty hotel / a hostel in Germany during the summer?
Salt Lake City. Skiing, snowboarding, do little igloo things.
Ain't nobody going to no hostel.
He flew you out. It's like that's like across the pond ticket. You gonna stamp that passport?
I can afford my own.
I'll take myself across the pond.
Take myself and not stay in no hostel.
Right.
Okay.
You can't take me somewhere worse than where I would take my damn self. You got to take me somewhere equal or better. But I would not stay in no hostel, and I would not stay in a 1-star hotel. So if you're not going to take me to somewhere,
I said shitty hotel. That could be 2 stars. That could be 2.
I would not. If it's somewhere I wouldn't stay with my own funds, then I'm not staying there for sex.
Okay.
Like I'm not staying in a motel.
Alternatively, in that situation, would you be like, all right, if you get my plane ticket, I'll upgrade our hotel?
Not if he's supposed to be flying you out though.
I'm just no, because he's paid for everything else. So if he had a hotel, we can
probably because that flight was really expensive.
Exactly. Because maybe he had a
deal.
So
that flight probably cost you $2,000, and upgrading the room is probably going to cost me $400.
That's what I'm saying. I'm here to work toward a solution.
I thought the whole point was being flued out.
Correct. Exactly.
You did get flight and room and board.
But that's what I'm getting at. So technically, you didn't get flued out all the way. Like you got flued out kind of partially. You know what I'm saying? So it's
you
something
got
to think
flued
about.
out and you had to make upgrades.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
If that's the case, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go with Germany, and I'll just pay the $400 because the $400 is better than the $2,000 I would have paid for my flight. So
I'm still doing Salt Lake because I love skiing. So and I try to go.
I hate the cold.
I haven't snowboarded yet, but when I do, bro, you're gonna see me cool border style. I promise you. I'm
cool with the cold if it's for a few days, but when it's like long periods, and it's like, But
I got a few more.
Where's your answers? What you gonna do?
Oh well, I'm gonna plug my nose and go to Abu Dhabi for sure, and then I'm for sure gonna go to Germany and stay in a hostel because we're gonna go backpacking. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna go figure it out. I'm just gonna bring.
You like living that rugged life. I like living a soft life.
Because I just feel like I got a good knife, and I know how to use it. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out. Here we go. Would you rather fly out with a guy who won't stop talking about himself, or a guy that won't say anything to you at all? He will not stop talking about himself.
I'm not mad at the one who won't say anything at all.
But I mean, like won't say like maybe more than 2 words, as in like bathroom, food, get up. Like he ain't saying no words.
I'm fine. I put on my little podcast that I listen to, and I'm good.
Yeah, I would rather you not talking anyway. Most of the niggas I know that be talking say dumb shit anyway. So even if it was a woman that I was going to go see, I'd rather her shut up too. So
honestly, I'm probably gonna go with the person that won't. I don't know. That's tough.
No, because you like talking, Tristen. So
I do, but the thing is that
I just keep talking to himself.
But I've been in a lot of scenarios where I couldn't get a word in. Like I know some people to this day, like I don't date them, but I know like right now, if I call them, I'm not gonna be able to get a word in, which is why I don't call them too often.
Right. So you're gonna go with the silence, so you can do the talking.
But silence is like maddening to me because the more silence there is, the louder it gets. Like it gets maddening. That's a tough one. That's why I brought that one.
You can still talk to other people. I'll be on the phone.
You can listen to your music, to podcasts.
I should have made a little kicker. They expect you not to be on the phone. That's probably the kicker there.
They can't have no expectation if they ain't talking. Mm-hmm. You can't have expectation.
So now we gotta both sit in silence because you quiet, because you mute, nigga.
No.
All right, we got a couple more here. Now this is for all the Elon and Bezos fans. Would you rather be flued out to space or take a deep dive into the ocean?
Oh,
like remember the Will Smith thing when they went in that pod? That's where you're gonna be. Like it's like an underwater ocean situation.
Are we completely protected?
Yeah.
Are we completely protected in the ocean? Like we're in something that sharks.
I mean, of course you're completely protected, but the thing is that it's still dangerous either way because you go to the space station to get flued out, or you're going deep down in the sea lab to get flued out. So what you gonna do? Where you going?
I'm going
up, or you going down?
I'm going in the sea. I feel like I'm less likely to die down there. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen to my spaceship.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm torn. Like I kind of want to go in the sea to see what it looks like down there, but like there's some scary things and unknown things in the sea, like things that scientists have not discovered yet. So I'm terrified.
Over 95% of the ocean, I think even more than that, is undiscovered.
Exactly. So I'm terrified on that aspect. Whereas space would be cool to see what it looks like up there, but at the same time,
like 99.999% of space is undiscovered. So what are we saying?
Exactly.
So,
oh God.
And I'm afraid of heights.
I'm not.
I'm gonna get on the space shuttle because
you get on the space shuttle.
Fuck yeah, I want to go as fast as possible. We're about to go at least 4 or 5 Gs. Hell yeah, I'm going to space. We're about to break the sun.
I might be with you, twin. Yeah. I might be on it with you.
Y'all going to space? Damn.
Yeah, and I don't swim that well. Like I swim to keep myself alive. And
let's do it, twin.
I mean, either way, I feel like if something bad happens, you're gonna die in either situation. So
let's go for our next birthday, twin. We're gonna go to space.
You know what? If they're doing that, I'm getting the first ticket. Like if it's reasonable, like if it's $20 million, no. But if it's a reasonable ticket, like a hot air balloon ticket, I'm going to space.
Let's do it.
No, I need to see a lot of people do it first and see how many deaths happen before I go.
All right, here we go. Are we getting flued out to a safari in the hottest months with the most dangerous predators, or are we getting flew out to see the glaciers in the colder months with dangerous predators, such as
I do want to go on a safari.
But I hear the glaciers are beautiful around that time, Aurora Borealis, stuff like that.
But I'm already doing Salt Lake City in the coast, so I'm gonna go with safari this time. I'm just praying that I don't get mauled by like a lion or something. But I really want to go on an African safari, so
I would go on a safari.
Okay, Kenya,
I'd rather be hot than cold.
All right. I think I might go in the glaciers because I have this fantasy about getting into a tent igloo situation, doing some stuff. But that's just me. That's another day. Another day for that.
Okay, I got one. So would you rather get flued out on Spirit or somewhere equivalent to Spirit Airlines? You're going somewhere tropical. The flight's going to be 7 to 8 hours, or first class, but you're going to West Virginia or Alabama.
First class to West Virginia, Alabama for me.
Somewhere tropical. I'll get on the slave ship.
Somewhere tropical?
I'll get on the slave ship for that. Because if we're going to Seychelles, hell yeah.
You might turn into a Spirit for you.
I may end up there. I may end up there in chains, but I'm gonna break free like Django. We're gonna work it out. Spirit is literally, I literally call Spirit the slave ship. It is a slave ship. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You may have paid for it.
I've been slave ship. Working the slave ship, and I ain't
pretty much.
And then be like, oh, you gotta pay for your seat. You gotta pay the print. You gotta pay.
No, they do crazy stuff. They be like, you have to pay to scratch your crotch. I'm sorry, what? No, you can't scratch your crotch, sir, if you haven't paid us. So what if I scratch it and you can't get on the plane?
You have to get kicked out this flight. I don't know. I saw that video of that Spirit Airlines employee fighting. I don't want to get my ass beat on the goddamn flight.
Well, she was all the way wrong. I'm like, why you gonna get up in his face and challenge him?
She called him a nigga?
Yeah. And
I didn't hear that.
She said it, and then she
just saw her hit him.
Oh, see, now she double wrong.
Right,
and you were happy some dude jumped in the way, like, you're not gonna fight no woman. I'm like, bro, honestly, in this situation, I think you should let her get her ass whooped. She'd have learned something that day.
I just hate that guy at the end in the blue shirt.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you over here putting your nose in the situation, you have no idea what the fuck happened.
Yeah, she wanted all the smoke.
She wanted that smoke.
I got the last would you rather. Here it is.
All right.
Now this is wild. So would you rather get flown out in a group of girls, like two to five girls, right? But they all expect to hit it, like maybe not at the same time, but like, he gonna get his time with you in a lavish location. So think of a lavish location, or a regular location with one dude. Like, okay, so like a situation like he was gonna fly you out to like
the Maldives.
Maybe like Maldives, yeah, something like that. It's like the Maldives, something like that, something like really lavish.
Out a brothel or something.
But exactly, but you're part of his team, and so now he gets his time with you because it's expected. Or
because you said a part of the team, I can't even do it now because you don't hold us out. Oh my god!
I'm just telling you what the prompt is.
You part of his
are you staying?
Like you just said.
Are you staying in a room with these girls?
No,
y'all all staying in the room.
I'm gonna go find somebody else while I'm out there. And if you want a team,
no, I think maybe it's two to a room. But you guys but it's like maybe 1,000 thread count sheets. You get a servant, you get all kind of cool stuff, but you got to share this man. You got to share this man.
What do you look like?
Or it's a regular dude.
What the man look like?
Flying you out to like Miami.
What the man look like? What he working with? Like,
I feel like he's
like a more chestnut,
I feel like he's like a 7.5 to an 8. Like you could show him in good light. You could show him in good light.
He's not even cute.
They're both 7.5 to an 8. They're both the same attractiveness. It's just a matter of what situation are you going to go for? Because you get to be pampered in one situation, like he's paying for massages, you get all this cool shit, but like you get sloppy fourths and fifths, or you
get a team.
There's too much going on there. Like, is everybody like getting
I'm gonna just be a one person because I can fly myself out to nice places. Like,
Yeah, but can you do all the other stuff that comes along with it? Like all the fine wine, all the fine foods, like have a servant, all those things.
If I'm going there, it's because I can do all the things. Otherwise,
because I can do all the things.
I don't think you understand how lavish this place is. Right. Like I'm talking about like there's a yacht and all kind of shit.
I had a personal chef before. We could make that happen.
We went on a yacht. We did all the things.
Okay.
And actually, I did everything but fly them out.
Right. Next year, if you want to do it even bigger.
Right. So
I mean, honestly, as I'm thinking about this situation, I'm probably
if you want to do it bigger.
I mean, 31. I mean, go all out.
I'm gonna be part of. I think I'm gonna be part of the team because I'm trying to see what's popping over there. I'm gonna be part of the team. Go team! Me and all these fellas will be playing PlayStation together. We're gonna be having a good time. We're gonna be having a good time, bro. What's good,
All right,
bro?
You up next.
Bro, you hitting it first. Let me slide in first tonight, bro. I'm trying to go hoop with LeBron James tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because she got connections. She got connections.
Oh my God. You know what I just thought about? And this is so fucked up. Oh, I gotta say it. I just imagine like an older woman just calling you and being like, one of y'all niggas come up here, and y'all being like, oh, you know, she mean you.
That's exactly what it would be.
That scene in Antoine Fisher where she'd be like, nigga.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Like,
that's so fucked up.
Oh no.
He said nigga.
He's like, nah, that's your name. I'm a different kind. Like she said, nigga, different me. Like that.
Oh no.
You start using your name for real. Latrell, get in here. It's your turn. Mama need
you
a toast.
Part of the team. Ew. And you gonna go in there and suck her toes?
Where's she taking me? Where's she taking me? Is she taking me?
Taking you to the Maldives.
If I get to stay in the Taj Mahal somewhere because she didn't took me down there somewhere, fuck yeah, I'm going. Get to me my old toes. Girl, give me my old toes. Let's get it popping. Let's go. Let's enjoy ourselves. Because the thing is that's a crazy story that I can tell. All right, bro. So
I wouldn't tell anybody.
No, I'm telling that story. That's a hilarious story to tell. I'm telling that story about 10, 12 times. That's a hilarious story to tell. I'm not even mad about it, player. Do your thing. Do your thing. But that concludes all the questions. But now we need to let everybody know these are the rules for getting floated out. So what are the rules, guys? What's number one?
I would say number one is don't get flown out by a complete stranger. Like
absolutely
you need to know this person or have spoken to them enough times, FaceTime, whatever. But you need to feel like you have a sense of who this person is before agreeing to get flown out, so you don't get kidnapped or abused.
Absolutely,
I agree. That's a good rule number.
Absolutely. Number two, let's discuss these intentions and expectations. Okay. Like you need to know what I put everything on the table. If they expect the pussy
be clear.
or the penis, you need to let them know ahead of time what it is. And for whatever reason you can't give it to them, maybe you just can't go on this trip. Maybe that's just what it is. You gotta accept that, you know?
Right.
Nah. Goodness. I'm just thinking about how that girl done got stuck out in Bahamas. Like,
I mean, she's not the only one. She ain't the only one.
All it needed was a conversation. But the next rule, the person requesting the other person to visit should book the flight and the hotel.
Because you didn't truly get flued out if they didn't do those things.
Yep, exactly.
You can't be out here finding your own flights and finding your own hotels and stuff.
That's not pushing P.
Exactly. It's not pushing P. It's not. You could be in Paris finding your own flight. How you gonna push P? Exactly.
All right. What's the next one, Tristen?
Make sure you have all the confirmations before you get on the plane. Okay. So make sure that flight is confirmed. Make sure the hotel is confirmed. Make sure that they look like they picture. Make sure that all that good stuff. Make sure you saw a full body image. So you didn't get there and you thought you was gonna get slim and then you got something else. So just make sure that all of that is lined up. Make sure your ducks are in a row and make sure you have an escape plan. Make sure you have an escape plan for certain. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And put that code on the flight we talked about. Put that code on the flight.
So what that mean? Put the code on the flight.
Remember that one story we talked about with you can call the airport and make sure that if the ticket's in your name, you can have them put a code on the flight that it cannot be changed unless they have that code. It's an access code.
Tristen dropping gems on the girls. Just in case y'all ain't know.
Yeah, so make sure the ticket's in your. So as long as the ticket's in your name and it's not like some open-ended situation, they flew you out private. It's not. They flew you out private. You kind of asked out. But if they flew you out on a major airline carrier, then yes.
Yeah.
Next rule.
I would say if you're uncomfortable once you're out there in the same space as that person, try to ask for a separate room, or you should have your own funds to book a separate room. But if you're ever uncomfortable, don't feel like you have to stay in that situation. And that goes along with the whole expectations conversation. If you weren't clear about that before and they're trying to hint at wanting sex and you're uncomfortable, get out that room. Point blank, period.
Now this I feel like is one of the most important. It really should have been like number two.
Yeah.
Always have your own money. in case you need to get home. Don't ever let nobody get you stranded nowhere. And that's just a rule of thumb for anybody. Even if I'm going on a trip with my girls and stuff, like having a good time, I'm never going to go anywhere unless I have extra money to be able to afford to get the fuck home.
And if it's not your own money, maybe hopefully you know somebody there. Something that like you have a backup plan. Like whatever it is, what we're talking about is a backup plan. Like hopefully it's your own funds, but if it's not that, maybe you know a friend that works at American Airlines that can get you a flight back home. You know, whatever it is, just make sure you have a way back.
Yeah, that's important. Next one, share your location with the person. Share your location and the information of the person you're visiting.
Oh my God, please tell somebody. Please tell
family, friends, whoever you've told that you're going to visit this person, share their contact information, share the itinerary, your confirmation information as far as hotel and flight. You want to share all the things in case something happens to you. They can try to figure out where you are, you know, so that's very, very important. We want to have fun, but we also want to be safe because the point is for you to go back home.
And honestly, I'm going to add a little something into there. Be wary of things like human trafficking. Because that, I mean, you know, we make a lot of jokes on the show, but I mean, that's a very serious issue that has been on the rise, especially as COVID and things, and you know, a lot of economic downturn. There've been a lot more people getting snatched, and not just ladies, men too. So definitely be aware of stuff like that. And there are definitely red flags, and we can try and post a link to some organizations that can make you more aware of those things. But for sure, that absolutely.
That was a good one, Tristen. That was a good little caveat to add up in there.
Yeah. And I feel like the last one should be don't use people unless they're okay with it, unless they're aware of it. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, like, you want to get fooled about somebody that you actually are feeling that you don't know what this could turn into. Could be something great, but just don't use them just because, like, oh, you know, he got money, he gonna fly me, I'm gonna have a good time, because that's when it goes left. When you have expectations, you're going to have like this amazing vacation, this amazing time, and they may have expectations that they're going to get X, Y, and Z from you. Those two things don't match up. That's when it goes sour. So don't use people.
In the words of Bill Withers, if it feels this good getting used, you can use me, girl, until you use me up. Okay. And make sure y'all both on the same page. All right now. Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that does conclude this portion of the show. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. And you know what time it is. It's time for the fun portion of the show. It's time to go outside. It's time to stretch those arms. It's time to do a little dance. It's time for reset. Sean the Don, will you please lay it on us? Take it away.
So first of all, I want to talk about some TV, and this has something to do with directly what we were talking about. Have y'all watched rap shit recently?
I ain't caught up. I ain't caught up.
Oh, well, Tristen, just let me spoiler alert.
You can spoil the shit out of it. I'm gonna get to it.
All right. In the last episode, our homegirl, one of the main characters, gets flued out by some white man that we really don't need to see for real. But he's taking her out, letting to expensive dinners, got a really nice hotel, got her a little a driver to come pick her up, car service, everything. The whole time she's recording it all, having a good time, just flexing. And then at the end of the night, you know, he's trying to put his hand all up on her hoo-ha, and she's just like
playing with it in front of him, enticing him.
And she's like, nah, but we're not going that far. Like, I can play with it. And
she didn't show me the cat, and I can't even approach the cat. Oh, she crazy.
Yeah, so she's just like, you know, I'm gonna give you a little something, but you ain't gonna get all up, but your hand ain't going really in the cookie jar. You know what I'm saying?
She said the liquor was hitting, and she was gonna go upstairs by herself. And he said, okay, that's fine.
So he said, okay. Next morning or a little while later, we see her getting in a bubble bath, and somebody is coming in her room. We don't know if it's him and if he came in and said something or tried to do something, or if it was just housekeeping. But either way, she got put up out that hotel. And he didn't cancel her flight or anything, but homeboy said, I'm not taking you shopping. I'm not doing shit else. You got to get the fuck up out this hotel.
Serves her right. Serves her right.
But that's just so they done broke half the rules we done already stated today. They ain't had no conversation about expectations. And in the beginning of the episode, Shauna asked her, what you gonna be doing, fucking this nigga? She like, no girl, I don't even know if his dick worked. Little do she know, I mean, he felt like his dick was working.
If he can afford all that, he can afford the proper drugs to make it work.
That's very, very true. But Leslie, how did you feel about this episode?
I feel like, well, because the thing is, doesn't she have like, was it OnlyFans, one of those pay-per-view type of services where she like does webcam stuff or whatever?
Oh,
so
she's
like,
an OnlyFans person?
Found her on there. Like, yeah, because she's being
webcam
girl.
And she really thought he wasn't trying to hit.
webcam.
Oh, she crazy as hell.
The thing is,
but we don't know if that's where he met her. We don't know that.
Well, yeah, but they had this conversation, like these sexy conversations before. The thing was like she's using this to her advantage, right? She's playing upon the fact, like, oh, I know he's interested in me sexually. I'm gonna play up on it. I'm gonna get what I want from this guy. So when it came time down to it to do it, and she's like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm, this liquor hit and I'm gonna go to sleep. She's thinking that's all he needed, and she would still be able to entice him and do this, that, and the third, and it backfired in her face. So again, as Sean said, rule broken about expectations. She was playing upon the fact that she knew he wanted her sexually, but she never planned to actually give him any or whatever.
And that should have been discussed.
Yeah, but I mean,
and
she knew
also ain't had enough money for her own room when she got put out.
Yeah, because she had to go. She went to what's her name boyfriend house initially. Well, she met them with brunch and stuff like that. But yeah, she didn't have her own funds to stay in another hotel or whatever. Even if it wasn't as nice, she didn't have her own funds for that. So she broke a lot of rules. But I mean, that's how it happened. A lot of times people play upon the fact, oh, I know this person wants me. I'm going to milk them for what I can, for as long as I can, without giving them what I know that they want. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that backfires in your face. It doesn't last as long as you think you can make it last.
And I'm cool with you up there, trying to seduce and scheme.
And scheme.
That's a little song. It's real cute. Mm-hmm. So I'm here for the seduce and scheme whole little aspect of it. But honey, you need to make sure you got your own funds, because now you got schemed, baby girl. Now you're out of, you done flex all on the internet telling these people.
I feel like you played yourself at that point. Did you even get schemed? You just played yourself.
You absolutely played yourself for that. So that's exactly what happened.
Lesson learned.
I love rap shit, and I'm so excited to see where they're gonna go with this show. Like, Issa Rae has another banger on her hands.
I have a hard time watching the series until all the episodes are released, because I hate to wait. Oh my God, I hate to wait.
That should be 20 minutes long, and it feels like it's 20 minutes long. Like,
and it's just too quick. I need to, once all the episodes are released for the season, then I just crush them all, because I just can't. I just hate to wait. I can't do it.
For me, I like the show. I like the potential. I see where it's going. I like the direction it's going in. It's not an instant hit like Insecure was with me, because I loved Insecure from the first scene with Issa and the kids and stuff like that. For me, this one's like more of a slow burn, but I love Issa. I support it. I love Fury's in it. You know what I'm saying? I like the cast and everything. So I'm rocking with it because I see where it's going to go. So I'm here for it.
I love Kid Fury in it. His part in this episode was actually fucking hilarious. It was funny
talking to his mama.
That was hilarious.
That was.
But next up on the TV docket, me and Leslie been going back and forth about this, and I just want to know what y'all think. PValley finale finally done came, and I'm pissed.
You were underwhelmed.
I thought it was not fun. I thought it was whack.
Just because it wasn't like a big brawl like last season finale or something. Was that you like expecting like a big?
No, it don't need to be no fight, but like it needed to be something big. The biggest thing we got was Lil Murder coming out for real. That was cute. I like that scene. That scene was like the best scene of the episode. Like I was like, bitch, I know that's the fuck right. But there were so many unanswered questions, and like if we don't get no season 3, now we just fucking stuck. But
is there talk that there's not going to be a season 3?
They haven't got picked up yet. They haven't announced it, which to me is weird, because normally they get picked up either in the beginning of the season or at least by midway. So I'm a little worried.
Season 2 got picked up quick as fuck.
Yeah. So first of all, the opening scene, Mercedes dance, that 7 pounds of pressure by Murder. I need that song out now, because that entire scene was amazing. I feel like they like
be strong as shit. How you holding your body up to the side like this, and your whole body and clapping her legs, and strippers are amazing.
Beyond me. I can't even fathom it. I feel like they were able to like kind of put a pin in some stuff, but then leave stuff hanging to where if there is a third season, it can pick up from there. Like the whole thing with like Big Bone and that guy and not killing Diamond. Okay, now we can see where that goes. Whole thing with freaking
Miracle Watts was a whole goddamn scammer the whole time.
I knew she was
something.
Yeah,
and I knew something was up with her character.
Yeah, I need Derek to die today. Like I'm was
And
so
I think
mad.
if that would have happened, I would have been happy.
Yeah.
If Derek ass would have died,
Instead of flipping the script on Keyshawn, when I tell you, I was furious as if I was Keyshawn in that moment. Like, first of all, her stepmom, snake. She been a snake. We saw in Keyshawn's
just the way
episode.
she was acting. Oh,
yeah,
bitch, you know.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Just because you're not happy with your life and your marriage, don't mean you got to make my life more miserable. Like, I was pissed at her, pissed at the Derek situation. I'm interested to see what happens with what they call her, Autumn Savage Night. They call her all the names or whatever.
Midnight, pre-show, whatever the fuck. I mean, that's gonna be interesting. We're definitely gonna see where that's gonna go. But
I'm just glad they didn't kill Clifford grandma, because I was gonna be sad if she died.
Loretta.
I was gonna be so sad, but she made it through. She's still alive and kicking.
She made it through.
I was gonna be so sad. So I was okay with it. I did think there was gonna be like a big something, kind of like last season finale, because like everything was like leading up to that. But I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen that way. The pink is still here, so hopefully it gets us a third season, because this season was amazing. I think it deserves the third and the fourth, for that matter. But
yes, I hope so. I'm very excited to see where they're gonna go with that. But that shit was lackluster as fuck to me. That shit was lackluster as fuck to me.
Dang. Well, I mean, that's fair. Fair.
But that's all I got for y'all in the TV realm for today for our recess. I'm gonna keep it real short, real sweet today.
I see. I guess I'm gonna have to actually watch PValley now, because like too many people have talked about it. And it's not just y'all, like it's cousins, like it's other people I know. They're like, "Oh, you ain't watching PValley?" I'm like, "Nah, you know." They're like, "No, but no, bro, you need to watch PValley."
It's good.
So no, I'm gonna take a look at it now. All the episodes are out, so we can now maybe me and my lady, we start that series and we'll get into it. But is that all for recess today?
That is all we got.
Wow, we've reached the end of the show, the end of the road, if you will. But shout out again to the ladies that shared. We really appreciate that you divulged your truth to us so that we can divulge it to our listeners as well. And then shout out to PValley as well. Hopefully they get picked up for a third season. We rooting for y'all. And hopefully Rap Shit is doing his thing as well. But also, guys, before we get out, yes, we are. Talk about it. Say it again. But before we get out of here, y'all, please again go check us out on YouTube, check us out on Spotify, check us out on Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Also check us out on TikTok, check us out on Instagram, check us out on Facebook. Reach out to us, join the conversation, because we'd love to hear from you. Because that's really the way this thing grows. You talk to us, we talk to you, and you disseminate the information. It's just all there is to it. But until the next time, guys, I've been Trist.
It's your girl Les.
It's Shine Done.
All right now. And even though the party may change, the vibe remains the same. We out, y'all.
Bye.